Hello, my name is Ian Keene, and today I'm going to be talking to you about why I believe red light cameras should not be used to convict a person of a crime. I am adamantly against the use of these cameras and have done a sufficient amount of research to feel competent and capable of giving you a justifiable argument for these. I'm just going to give you a quick little overview of what I'm going to be talking about. I believe these cameras are very expensive. They cause more damage than they do good and are unconstitutional. With that, I want to dive right into my first point and talk about the expenses. These cameras are bought from commercial companies who are seeking to make a profit, and they provide us, the state, with state-of-the-art equipment, sensors and cameras used to tell when a car passes into an intersection during a red light. State-of-the-art equipment, it's very good. However, it's very expensive. Just to give you a little idea of what I'm talking about, according to Montgomery News, Philadelphia brought in $10 million from these cameras catching people running red lights. It's a lot of money. However, 70% of that went right into upkeep for these cameras and for more cameras and more sensors. Now, you may, if you've done the math in your head already, there's still $3 million that goes right to Philadelphia. And kudos to Philadelphia, it worked out in their favor. However, as time goes on, this is not going to be the case. People are going to become the wiser. They're going to know which routes have red light cameras, or they'll just start obeying the law. And if that happens, these cameras have fulfilled their duty, but they are now a money pit and are no longer bringing in revenue. My second point is that I believe these cameras are actually causing damages and not good. I've made up a little chart of information I received from Fox News. The pink bar represents accidents before the cameras were introduced, and the red is after. Now, if you look closely at the information, you'll see that there is only a difference of about 5 collisions. However, if you look closely into all the reports on these accidents, you'll see that before the cameras were introduced, it's a pretty even mixture of rear-end collisions and people running red lights and causing collisions in the intersection. However, after the cameras were introduced, the number of rear-end collisions skyrocketed. While people may have not been running into the intersection and causing accidents, they were slamming on their brakes the second they saw a yellow light, as opposed to crossing legally into the intersection like you can during a yellow light if you have plenty of time, and getting across the intersection completely legally. Instead, they have a fear of being caught by a computerized camera and not being able to take this to court and face an accuser. And so they slam on their brakes and cause a rear-end collision. And this brings me to my third point. In a normal court trial, you can look your accuser in the eye, hear his argument against you, and you can provide a defense for yourself and a rebuttal against his arguments. With these cameras, however, there is no accuser. And I want to read to you from the Constitution of the United States out of the Sixth Amendment. In criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district where the crime shall have been committed, which district shall be previously ascertained by the law, and to be informed by the nature and cause of the accusation, to be confronted with the witnesses against him, to have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor, and to have the counsel for his defense. To be confronted with the witnesses against him. That's the statement I want to focus on. With these cameras, they are operated by a computer. They are not operated by a person. Nobody caught you doing anything. A computer randomly took a picture of you in an intersection. While you may be guilty or not guilty, you cannot provide a accurate or really any defense for yourself because there's no one accusing you of anything. That is why I believe that these cameras are unconstitutional and that the use of them to convict a person of a crime is completely unconstitutional and should be discredited. Just to wrap things up, I believe that these cameras actually cause more damage than they do good, and that over time this trend is going to continue. More and more rear-end collisions are going to happen. I believe that the use of them is unconstitutional and violates our rights as Americans that is specifically specified in the Bill of Rights, and that they will ultimately cost cities and states money as people begin to possibly obey the law or just find ways around it. Thank you for your time.